Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 15 here on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, you're not going to believe it, but I almost made a mistake. The unbelievable part is that I almost made it, that I didn't make it, but I just about jumped ahead a whole month and forgot about putting our potatoes in the ground. I did complete the seeding that was required on TFS's and help at Neil's place. And then I sold a small load of pig food from TFS's, not a full trailer load like we took last time. Uh, the long ways to the December, so I didn't want to clear it out, and I didn't think it was proper that we, would leave him with nothing to boot. So if we've got lots left over, we can certainly sell some more next fall. But this month was the last month for the premium prices for Ben. But I think this is the last thing we have to do here this month before we move ahead. So I'll go ahead and we'll get started on it. Now I did no, I forgot to, no, I don't. Let me turn that on. I did think about maybe upgrading our potato planter, but I looked at what options we had. I even considered leasing for a year, but decided we could tough it out one more year with this small planter. It gives us an opportunity anyways to use the old farm wall again. We haven't used it for a little bit on the farm. Now I don't, I think I time-lapsed this last time I did it, so I don't think I'll bother doing it again. We'll just, I'll bring you along here for a little bit, then I'll get it finished up, and we'll move on into next month and look after TFS's corn. I looked into see if we could use that ridging tool that came with the premium expansion and then seed our potatoes into that, but didn't look like that was possible. I have our John Deere sitting over there. It's got the pallet of seed potatoes on it. Almost 14 hours on this old girl since we got it from TFS. So we used it a fair bit. Done a pretty good job for us. Done whatever we've asked it to do. have to admit, it's a pretty neat looking old tractor. Now we're just about out of spuds here, I see. We're going to make it to the end of the row. Ah, in true Murphy fashion, no. All right, well, I'll get this filled up and I'll carry on. As you can see, this is going to take some time, just like it did last time. But I'll get that done and we'll move into next month and get on to the corn planting. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I time-lapsed the entire thing last time, so we won't do that again. So we'll catch up with you next month. See you then. Well, good morning and welcome to April here on the farm. I'm just up here checking in our potatoes that we put in last month, and you can see they're coming up very nicely. It is going to be a very busy month here on the farm. We have got lots to do. We have fields that need to be fertilized at all three farms, ours, TFS's, and Neil's. Of course, we've got to help Neil out with his. And he's going to show us how the fertilizing works with precision farming. So we've that to do. We have some fields with weeds at both Neil's and TFS's. So again, we need to take care of that. We have some planting to do because we need to put corn in at TFS's. So we need to take care of that. And I had already been talking to Neil this morning, and he suggests that that should be the first thing that gets done is, well, the weather is good, get that corn in the ground. So that's where we're going to start. And he's going to meet us up there and make sure the planter is all set up appropriately for precision farming and such. And so we're due to meet him up there at 7, so pretty quick. And then we have grass work that needs to be done. We have grass work, or grass that needs to be cut, and then of course we're obligated to one more cut for Ben on that field down by his shop. And then of course we need to help Neil with his grass work. So lots to be getting on with here this month. But like I said, we're going to start off with getting the corn in the ground. So it's just about time we head up there, and we'll, like I said, be meeting Neil there. He's going to make sure everything's set appropriately, and we'll get after that job. And then I think fertilizing is next on the agenda. So I'll meet you at TFS's place. See you there. Well, I've got the seeder hooked on the tractor here, all set to go. It is just about full of seed, but I did check in the old barn over there where TFS was keeping some seed, and there's 2 empty seed containers. So if we run out, which I suspect we probably will, we'll need to go get some more seed. Oh, but look, there comes Neil now. So I'll meet up with him, and once we get this all set, we'll get after the seeding. So we'll catch up with you then. Well, Neil's given it the 2 thumbs up. Everything's set appropriately. So we are good to go here. We'll get some corn in the ground. Don't know how far this seed will get us, but if we run out, there's a couple seed boxes in that old barn over there. I'll just run in to the shop and get some more. we'll have to, oh, get a little off track there, we'll have to roll this as well when it's done. So seeding and rolling. And then next month it'll be due for fertilizer. Now the fertilizing we'll have to do with one of Neil's tractors because we need the crop sensors from what I understand, and none of TFS's tractors or mine have that. You can see the weeds in the field there. Just, well, it was just in front of us. Now, Neil was explaining we have two options when it comes to taking care of the weeds. We can use a sprayer with a spot spray system on it, which he uses. But if we actually want to maximize our yield, we should use a mechanical weeder. But he doesn't have one, and TFS doesn't have one, and we certainly don't. But we'll have to use the spot spray system for this time around. But if we want maximum yield, he suggested we'd be better off to use a weeder. So maybe something we'll look forward or look into in the future. Actually, this is going to go pretty quick with this outfit, I think. I don't know, it looks like this seed's going farther than I thought, so we might be able to get this whole field done without having to pick seed up. Hasn't used very much so far. I also discovered that TFS actually has a roller. When we did his barley and canola, we used Neil's roller. We really didn't need to. He has a little roller sitting over along the bush there, so we'll use his roller to roll this field up. I think I will carry on with this. Um, just going to be more of the same of what you've seen in the last few minutes, and I'll get this field rolled, and I guess we'll be heading up to Neil's place and starting off the fertilizing portion of our program. So I'll see you up at Neil's. Well, we're over at Neil's place here. We got everything wrapped up at TFS's. The corn is in and rolled. I was able to make it back to my place in time to have lunch with the wife, so pretty good start to the day. Got a tutorial from Neil on how to run this outfit. We did this field here together. As you can see, it is perfect. Although there are weeds, but that's our next door. But this field, not so. So Neil's turned us loose here. Got his new tractor and the sprayer on the back, as you can see. We've topped it up, so I think we can get this job done. Once you get everything set, it's pretty straightforward. You can see a job that goes pretty quick. Give ourselves a little bit of a headland down here, so we can get turned around easier. Well, one little pass and we got her done. Now we could change the spray width, but not going to bother because with automatic application it's just going to put fertilizer down where it's needed. So really don't need to bother changing the width. Once we get this field done, we'll top up the sprayer. Neil has a IBC up by his sheep pen there, and we'll head off to TFS's and do his fields. Now Neil is regularly been fertilizing TFS's fields for him, so they have some agreement on the fertilizers. So that's why we can top up using his IBC. All right, well, I'm going to head off and get TFS's fields done, and then we'll come back here and we'll start on the weeding. So we'll catch up to you then. Well, we're back up here at Neil's. Same outfit, but now just reconfigured to spray herbicide. And it has, as Neil tells me, the spot spray system on it, a series of sensors that detect where the weeds are and just applies herbicide in that area only, apparently. So herbicide goes a lot further, which is obviously cost saving, and the much easier on the environment. And it does certainly appear to be working. Now, so all the fields have now been fertilized, except of course our potato field, which we can't do with chemical fertilizer because we're marketing our potato products as organic, so we need to use some type of organic fertilizer. So as you recall, we're using slurry, and we've been putting slurry on our grass field too for, well, just because that's what we had. We had a slurry spreader, and so I thought, well, I'll wait until I get that grass cut and I'll spread slurry on there too at the same time, because it's due to be cut here. Could even do it tomorrow if the weather is good. So we'll just do them both at the same time. And we don't need to spray for weeds because we plow every year. So we don't have the issue with weeds. But as you can see, Neil certainly does, and so does TFS. Both of his fields have weeds in. We'll go and spray. Now his cornfield, of course, won't have weeds because it was plowed as well. These jobs go pretty quick. Now I don't think we're going to do everything on our farm organic. Just we don't have the pigs to generate enough slurry to do that. Of course, I guess you could purchase it, but we're just doing it on our sole potato field right now because we're marketing our, like I said, our potato products as being organic and getting a premium price for them. So at some point in the future, we'll have to either go to a spray fertilizer or granular. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're a ways away from having to worry about that with our one field. I guess with this spraying, it kind of basically concludes the tutorial part of our agreement with Neil. All that's left is the harvesting after this, but did agree to help him for the entire summer. So we'll help him with his grass and his harvest when time comes. And he just reminded me about the chickens, asking if I was any closer to getting the chicken coop in. So I've got that project to do for the wife. Once we get all this field work done this spring, I guess we can look at getting busy on that, putting a chicken coop in for it. Guess we'll have to source out some chicken feed too. A problem for another day. Ah, shoot. I went on Neil's farm. Just wanted to confirm the sprayer had spot spray on it, and I can't use his shop as a contractor. And I realized I forgot to go back on ours. So that's Neil's 153,000, not ours. Well, our money is up a little bit because at the end of the month I did sell off some products. So I think when we left last episode, we were at about 19,000. We're at about 22 and a half now, I think, something like that. And we're due to get another little boost once we do that grass deal with Ben again. That was pretty lucrative last fall. So we're getting there slowly but surely. We are growing. Well, there. That finishes off that field. Well, I know Neil has at least one more field, and then of course we have to do TFSs. So I'll get that done. And then I'll meet you back up at our home place, and we'll wrap things up. So we'll see you then. Well, we're all done with that field work. We're back at our place, as you can see. I was just looking at, it looks like to me these trees have leafed out more since this morning when we started out the day. But it's really starting to green up around here. So we got all the field work done that was required at TFS's and Neil's place, and got Neil's equipment all put away, and even washed our truck before I put it away. So, you know, that's a pretty productive day. Of course, we still have our potatoes to deal with, and we'll need to put some fertilizer on TFS's cornfield too, but we certainly huge dent out of what we need to get done this month. But speaking of that, I was thinking we'd probably do some mowing tomorrow, but that is not going to happen. It's going to start raining overnight and carry on through into the morning, so we'll have to let the grass dry. So we'll have to wait until the following day. That looks like it's going to be nice, and we can do our grass work then. But I was reflecting while I was doing that weed spraying down at TFS's place. I mean, I was just appreciative of Neil taking us under his wing like that. But then I realized, you know, it's great, and we're going to get a benefit this year because we're working TFS's place. But after that, we're back to, as Neil called it, our museum pieces. And there'll be no precision farming required, if we take a look at what we got in our shed. Well, even TFS doesn't have the equipment to do precision farming. So I wonder if we'll remember how to do it when the time comes that we have equipment like Neil has. Or if it'll even be relevant at that time. Who knows how long it'll take us to get there. But anyways, like I like to say, a problem for another day. But it is great to play with that fancy new equipment in Neil's, that's for sure. Anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up there. I'm going to go in and have a cold one in the house. I think it's well deserved. And we'll end the episode there. So if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you found it entertaining or informative in any way, hey, hit that old like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit the old notification bell. And of course, as always, feel free to comment if you wish. But for this episode, that's a wrap. And it's Farmer Murphy signing off from here on Bloomfield.